Tim, and you have joined us in Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenyame.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He dwelleth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy, deliver the poor and needy, lead them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk round in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, you are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations. Allahu Akbar.
This is Kadar Fox, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Abid Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Abid Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I want to give a shout out to Silver Kevin and my Silver Nation out there. I want to give a shout out to my mom. I give a shout out to my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give a shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
You're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotel. It's Mansour Hotel, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good, I think it sounds great. Right now, you're listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shout out to the Gye-Nyame tribe, Gye-Nyame family. Stand up. Peace. adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry its name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Shout out to Mr. Sasha. Stand by. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio.
Play! Play! You got this computer on down here.
This is Gina. You are now on Gye-Nyame Radio. Peace.
I have had enough, family. I have had enough. Yo, this is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the best. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Shouts out to Miss Vanessa Lynn. This is the Heart of a Summer production, right? And you are now listening to FFGF, also known as Folk Tales for Grown Folks. Put the kids to bed, because we going to talk, and this is a Heart of a Summer production. Strive to blow up your old paradigms. Alright, get some of y'all some time to catch up. Right? So we got some more people that's coming. So hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on another song. This is an old track called Spirituality by the brother by the name of Spade. This is over 20 years old. This is off the Afrocentric Warrior album that I happen to be a part of. And also, I want to send shouts out to Elder Tony for giving it back, give me another copy back. And this is a brother by the name of Spade, and the name of the song is Spirituality.
Spirituality supports reality. 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 Spirituality supports reality.
This is an African set, no respect. I saw the light, now I got to reflect straight back. Here's a little message while you live, and what I got to give is so much positive. Spain, the brother's gonna serve rhythmatically. Pass up to you what was taught to me. That was Afrocentricity about being spiritual. So here we go to proceed quite lyrical. Praise the one for which I pledge my stand. Peace to the creator, word to the motherland. I got to give it up, cause I'm down with cancer. Jumped in the circle, I was told we had to stand together as one in unity, amongst ourselves, amongst our community, strong, repelling the interference of genocide. Luther King died to keep the dream alive. Mandela, the fella served 25, still revived, speaking, teaching others to survive. And look towards the Nubian place. Your mind is a waste if you don't know your race or heritage. History of the Afro-American, who's truly African, there's no comparison. We're all the same underneath the skin, whether dark or light. You might be my kin, so I relate to my brothers and my sisters. See, to the east, to the east, to the east of me. We traveled over here by slave ship. I dropped a bomb on the Uncle Tom, who ain't hip, straight to the situation of the Asiatic nation. I feel him in the face, when all this information stay diseducating, only back in reality. That's well supplemented by spirituality. It shows clear, but sometimes I see a blur, a finger between me and the past. I'm referring to what I learned in school, but that's trash, the white man's words. So that's his story. For a sellout, example, watch glory. Back to the present days, it's another phase. Who's got to know about African ways? The culture, the language, the things that we're missing. Cast out your mind and start fishing. Listen for wisdom, seek words and knowledge. This is invited to the United Negro College. There's nothing to do with being black or white, but it's the state of common sense and knowing what's right, what's wrong, what's up and what's down. Put your eyes to the sky and 2 feet in the ground. Now how does it sound from what we don't know? Much, but I know enough to flow. Speak my peace to each, and I rap my freedom of speech. And at the same time teach a lesson, expressing myself as a writer. The voice of the unheard, and the quiet. I wrote for change of mind. I've been broken, the shackles of the mind. They still hold not the same. Just as a rope on a chain, I wear my back in the classroom, playing the 3K. Safe, we're inferior, no, so let's show that we're past the spiritual.
Alright, I said go to bed. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame family. Alright, yo, once again, I want to welcome you to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. And we are today going to be doing folk tales for grown folks. Before we get into that, let me do a poem for you. This one is called Dust. This is from Poetry is My Religion. I wrote this a couple of years ago actually. In the beginning it was said that God, with its own hands, molded and shaped man and woman. In the beginning it was said that God formed us from the dust of the earth, and many still live our lives like that is all we are worth. Dust. Many of us has failed to realize that God's gift to us was not the body, but our lives. Through these vehicles of dust, we are given the power to change. For those of you who still act as if you are dust, this may sound strange. For many of you, dust you are, and dust you shall return. But for those who grasp the gift of life, the power of the divine forever burns. That's called Dust, one of my pieces. Excuse me for a second. Sasha and Gina, last time. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey, y'all. Hey, alright, so now, today, not this Kuumba coming up, but the next Kuumba. We are less than 14 days away from the Malcolm X Festival family. We are raising those funds. I want to send shouts out to Miss Vanessa Lynn because she is on here and she's one of the donators. I want y'all to come out. I want y'all to have a good time. We are still a little short, so I'm going to be sending out more texts. I'm going to be sending out more emails. I'm going to be trying to get y'all to donate so that we can keep this thing popping off, because it's important that we support our own, right? This is our own festival. We're doing it from the ground up. We will be at the Millennial Community School, 3500 Refugee Road, from 12 to 8 p.m. on May 19th, right? So, all right, so come on out. I'll be having the flyers soon. You're going to start seeing the banners up. We getting it, and I'm so happy, I'm thrilled that we are able to serve the community in that way, right? So here we go. Let's get it around. Give the team a round of applause. That's right. Oh, y'all so kind. Oh, you so kind. Yep, we gonna do it. All right, it's real life live here at Gye-Nyame Journey. You're about to hear some crying and some gnashing of teeth because I told these kids to go to bed. They didn't listen. My fault. I told the children to go to bed. We got somebody watching this on YouTube. Call in line for those that want to join the conversation. It's 614-556-4535. Now, just in case. Now, here we go. So one of the things that I happened to see was the video called "This Is America." Beautiful, beautiful video. A lot of thought was put into it, and I'm gonna give you my quick interpretation. If somebody want to call in, we can discuss this before we get into the folktale. But family, I mean, because this is the important part of doing the folktales, because you get to start dealing with symbolism. You get to start dealing with different ideas and the layered pieces of ideas, so that when you start looking at these movies and you start looking at these commercials and you start looking at these TV shows and you read these articles, you start going deeper than the surface. It's always important to go deeper than the surface, right? You know what I'm saying? Go deep, right? So now I've seen the video and I just want to point out some stuff that you might need to go back and check out. All right? I want you to notice that all the cars are old. I want y'all to notice that there's chickens in the video. I want y'all to notice that there's a white horse running across the screen in the video. I want y'all to notice that the video took place in a warehouse, right? Now, and there's people out there that's breaking all that down, and you can look at all that stuff, right? But I will present to you. Now I want y'all to think about this. The real part of the video, the part of the video that described America truly, because I'm going to say the first part of the video was a fantasy. Let me say that again. It was a fantasy, right? You know, and I want you to understand the fantasy, right? The fantasy was so bad, right? Well, let me say this. The fantasy was the fantasy of the reality that we are actually living in. Okay? Now check this out. If you look at the pants that he had on, those are called leisure suit pants. Leisure suits come from the 70s. That video had a bunch of old motifs. All the cars was old. The clothes that he was wearing were out of date clothes. The pants that he was wearing, them was old. Them was pants that you would see the fly guys back in the 1970s wearing, right? And he's going through the video, and it starts off in a traditional tone, right? You listening to the music, and then he comes out. He's dancing to it. He's enjoying it, and then he hits the pose, the exaggerated pose, and he shoots. Execution style. Now, we can move through that because people done broke all that stuff down. And if y'all want to go into it a little bit deeper, some of y'all call in and we can have that conversation. But this is my challenge to you, right? Zoom past all that. Listen to the song. It's a good song because he's trying to get across a message, right? And I want you to see that the fantasy that I'm talking about, he never moves above a certain standard. I mean, basically what you saw throughout that video was poverty. I want to say this about the kids, too. The kids dancing. All the kids was dancing. All of them was in uniform, school uniforms. And people were going to go into the private schools. People were going to go into the charter schools. But what I'm looking at is the uniform. What is a uniform? A uniform is a united thing. Now, the question is, what are they united in? You know what I'm saying? These kids was dancing in confusion. These kids was dancing in the madness. These kids was dancing and following this adult man in all of this craziness, right? And I want you to understand now. You know that's like a robot. That's like a zombie. You doing what you have been taught. You're doing what you have been programmed, and that's all you do, right? Then also I want you to get the fact that if you look at all of them, right? All those kids don't look American. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I just want you to look at it. I want you to take a deeper look at it. And then also, last but not least, look at all the dances they were doing. They were doing African dances. They wasn't doing like, you know, what we do. He was doing a couple of the moves, but you look at, like, when he was winding his leg, that's a popular African dance, right? And I ain't talking about the African traditional dance. I'm talking about the artificial intelligence, right? Robots. You know what I'm saying? That's how they was operating. Now, because it's like confusion. He does an execution and boom. And then I want you to look at this. Everything he walked into, he walked in and he started enjoying it and dancing, and then he shoots, takes out the original, and comes in as a carbon copy singing this new shit. Right? Right now, let's get through that. Because boom, I know y'all caught a lot of that. But like I said, look for the chickens, look for the white, you know what I'm saying? This dude was dancing in poverty. This dude was dancing in madness. This dude was dancing in chaos. And I'm saying this is the fantasy. This is the dream. But if you really want to get into this is America, you go to the last part of the clip where they zoom out and they go through a door of no return. They go up into total darkness, and you see the same character standing, not even standing in the hallway, running for his life from a white mob. That is America. That is America. I'm saying that all the shit that was going on was, in a sense, a wish in his mind or an illusion in his mind, but really when he was running for his life, that is America. But then also you could look at it as he lived his whole life doing all this bullshit, and when he was used up, they came to get him. You hear me, Bill Cosby? You understand what I'm saying? But hey, that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? We could go and talk about that if y'all want, but I'm about to go and get into these folk tales because it is time for the folk tales. So let's go and get the school bell. Where the school bell at? Let me get the school bell over here. Let's see. School bell, where you at? You know, I got all these mythic animals around me. I'm trying to film on YouTube, so it's kind of slowing me down. So I can get out. All right, class in section. You in front, sit down. Kwame, stop talking in class. All right, CeeLo. Calm down. Miss Vanessa, get to your desk. Let's get it. All right, y'all ready? The name of the story today that we're going to break down, my family, is called The Ass and His Purchaser. And it's not even a complicated story. And I just want to run through it just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a powerful story. And this is something that you could really translate for yourself. And if you can't use it, pass it on to your children. This is one of those type of stories. The Ass and His Purchaser. The Ass and His Purchaser. A man wished to purchase an ass. Not that type of ass. All right, come on now. Come on now. Clean your mind up. We talking about old school ass, not new school ass. Okay? Old school. Hee-haw. That type of ass. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame. Told y'all was going to be some gnashing of teeth. A man wished to purchase an ass and agreed with his owner that he should try out the animal before he bought him. He took the ass home and put it in the straw yard with his other asses. Upon which the new animal left all the others and at once joined the one that was most idle and the greatest eater of them all. Seeing this, the man put a halter on him and led him back to his owner. On being asked how in so short a time he could have made a trial of him, he answered, "I do not need a trial. I know that he will be just the same as the one he chose for his companion." I got it. This one is clean cut. This one is, we don't even have to get that dirty. But we're going to get dirty just because I like to do wisdom mining. We're going to jump down into this one. I'm going to read it again. And I want y'all to listen to this because this one right here is a lifesaver. This one right here is a nation. This, as a matter of fact, I might pin this up on my wall as we are going through the process of developing nation builders, right? As we are going through the process of developing families, or we are going through the process and developing a community, a village, a tribe, a nation. Because this one right here, family, is one that will help us solve a lot of problems. This is one, this it won't even solve problems. It'll stop problems from happening, because I want you to listen to this one. I want you to listen to it, and I want you to dig deep down. I want you to think about this, because this will help you in your friend selection. This will help you in your mate selection. This will help you in your business partner selection. This will help you in all aspects of your life if you just open up and listen to this story that we have confined to something that is only for children. I keep telling you, these folk tales are not just for children. These folk tales were originally designed for us. These folk tales will help us move from where we are to where we need to be, because we keep on thinking that where we are, we have not been before. We have been in this situation before. We have been here before, and our ancestors have been in, we done had hard times before, and our ancestors done left us the roadmap to free us. And all we got to do is open up our minds and look. And it ain't in no complicated equations. No. That's their way. Ours was the way of story. Ours was the way of narratives. Ours was the way of symbolism. Ours was the way of spirit. Ours was being able to manage emotion. Ours was control of thought. Family, listen to me. Here we go. A man wished to purchase an ass and agreed with his owner that he should try out the animal before he bought him. Wisdom right there. He took the ass home and put him in a straw yard with his other asses, upon which the new animal left all the others and at once joined the one that was the most idle and the greatest eater of them all. Seeing this, the man put a halter on him and led him back to his owner. On being asked how in so short a time he could have made a trial of him, he answered, "I do not need a trial. I know that he will be just the same as the one he chose for his companion." All right, let's break it down. Let's break it down into small chunks. Here we go, family. A man wished to purchase an ass and agreed with his owner that he should try out the animal before he bought him. Family, you know what a tryout period is called? You know what it's called? It's called an initiation. It's called an initiation. When you bringing somebody in, when you bringing somebody, a worker in, there is a probation period. There is a period in which you observe an individual's action, because in the beginning of any relationship, in the beginning, it's easy for people to put on airs. It's easy for people to fool you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a 5-minute interview, you got a 15-minute interview, you got an hour interview. But what happens when you put them on the probation period? What happens when you pull them through the initiation process? What starts to happen is you get to see who and what they really are. And this is critical for us out here that's working in these streets. This is critical for us that's trying to build. This is critical for us. Because sometimes it's almost as if we're so desperate not to be by ourselves. We're so desperate for numbers that we pass up the opportunity to tell people no. Let me say it again. We pass up the opportunity to tell people no. You don't belong. We want everybody to belong. We want everybody to feel comfortable. We want everybody to feel safe. We want everybody to be... No. Let me say that again. No. Right? Because even in the old days, before you bought something, you got to try it out. You try it out. You go and, for example, when you buying a car, you talk to somebody who has the type of car that you want to purchase. And had it for a while. If you can't drive the car around for a couple of days, which they won't let you do. You know what I'm saying? Certain pair of shoes you want. You ask somebody that got them. You know how those feels. You know, are they comfortable? You know what I'm saying? You have a conversation, right? Because you want to make sure that they were able to stand the trial. See, it's the trials and it's the tryouts and it's the probation periods that make it possible for you to evaluate a person, the whole person, the intuition, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical. Because in a small period of time, you can create situations, or the universe will create situations where all those things will come out. Some of us jump into relationships so damn fast that it's ridiculous. No tryout period, no probation period, and then we start acting like we shocked and hurt when a person shows who they really are. So even in the old days, when of course they didn't have all the technology, but they had that technology called sense. I ain't gonna call it common because it's not common no more. They had sense. I want to take this ass home and I want to try him out. I want to see if he's going to be able to be productive in my fields. I want to see how much he eat and see if I'm going to be able to afford him. I want to see I want to see what effect he has on the rest of the asses that I have at the house. These are very important questions. These are things that we have to deal with. These are things that we have to be calculating. You know what I'm saying? What type of nation builder is this? What type of warrior is this? What would happen if I put them in this group? Many of us have lost groups because we allow individuals in that didn't belong. Think about that shit. I mean, just think about it. And I want you to, and let's move on. Let's move on to the next piece. So now let's go to the next piece. Homeboy says he took the ass home and put him in the straw yard with his other asses. Upon which, all right. So first off, he put the ass in a common area. What happens in common areas? Common areas we eat, in common areas we have discussions, in common areas we come together to do work. You know what I'm saying? You put the newbie. You put the wannabe. That's what we call them. You put the wannabe in a common area so that you can see how he's gonna react. And if you already got some animals or some people around, you get to see this individual's personality. You get to see who they're gonna lean towards. Powerful thought. Put them in a common area. So he put them in a common area, and from there, upon which the new animal left all the others and at once joined the one that was most idle and the greatest eater of them all. So you put them in a common area and you see who they gravitate towards. I just gave something. I mean, that's a key secret to building successful businesses. That's a key secret to building successful societies. That's a key to building something successful. Who does this individual gravitate to? If you have a group and you know you got a group of individuals, because we know in every group you got the dynamic. You got the 15% that's doing 85% of the work. If you bring somebody in, they gravitate towards that 85%. Right? They gravitate towards the rest of the, you know what I'm saying? They gravitate to those that's taking up the most resources and putting out the least output. See, we accept individuals into our circle that will drain more resources than they put back in. The important piece that we have to understand about forming organizations, about forming families, is that there is a principle of reciprocity. Remember, I told y'all about the 3 R's in relationships, right? Respect, responsibility, reciprocity. Every relationship has reciprocity. What does that mean? When you give, something gives back. When you give, there's a figure 8 going back and forth, and that's the way infinity sign going back and forth. That's the flow. That's the you supposed to be in bed, and it's about to be some crying and gnashing of teeth up in here. You better go before I get biblical on you. All right, y'all, get fly if you want to. It's about to get biblical up in here. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame, family. Let me put the strap on. Y'all see that daddy look? Home dad after years and years. The young men of the Gye-Nyame house, you know what I'm saying, got me well trained in that daddy eye. That, you know, it's coming. You don't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
This call is being recorded.
Somebody on the line. Who this on the line?
This is Brother Shaka Hasbin.
What's up, Shaka? Long time no hear, man. Where you been, brother?
Brother, I've been everywhere on all the different ends of the spectrum, in the darkness and in the light. Finally. How's everybody tonight?
Oh, man, I think everybody good. Shouts out to Brother Kwame. Shouts out to Miss Stephanie Jackson. Shouts out to CeeLo. We got some viewers on YouTube. Laughing out loud, aren't you worried that they'll eventually get used to your threats? Family, you got to remember, the threats is what you see, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not. What's that comedian who played threats? You know what I'm saying? I'm not the comedian that played threats. They don't. They don't know when it's coming, family. They don't know when it's coming. I got a little book up here. You see how I keep the ancestors, right? I got an ass whooping book right over here too, where I'm stacking up points, right? You know, because there's only so many time. I'm gonna tell them. So no, I'm not worried about it, because when it comes, they understand, right? You slid by. See, because I can't jump. If I jumped off of here and did that would be the wrong thing to do. That's the wrong approach, right? So, strategizing. They're going to be asleep. You know what I'm saying? But it's coming. All right, but Shaka, we are talking about the folktale. Did you have a chance to listen in? And who controlling the Gye-Nyame journey right now?
Not me.
Oh, okay. Somebody out there asked a question.
What question they asked?
Oh, no, they asking, aren't you worried that they'll eventually get used to your threats? In many cases, they're kind of, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, but they never, it's like, oh, Brother Anubis, it's like guerrilla warfare, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't know when the attack is coming. You know what I'm saying? Now they got to worry. All right, so, Shaka, did you hear the story?
I did not.
Man, how you late? I'm almost done, man. I done chopped it up, dissected it. I'm almost at the end. You ready? A man wished to purchase an ass and agreed with his owner that he should try out the animal before he bought him. We discussed that part. He took the ass home and put him in the straw yard with the other asses. We was just getting off that part. Upon which the new animal left all the others and at once joined the one that was the most idle and the greatest eater of them all. We just finished that part right there. Seeing this, the man put a halter on him and led him back to his owner. On being asked how, in so short a time, he could have made a trial of him, he answered, I do not need a trial. I know that he will be just the same as the one he chose for his companion. That's all I can say I mean, it's straightforward, it's comfortable, it's very straightforward, and like I said, man, I honestly believe this.
I understand being transparent and stuff like that, but I wish you and I would have discussed it before you told the whole world about my first marriage. I don't know. I mean, that's really what I get out of the passage. It's just, since you at the end, I just dropped right to the very. I felt like y'all was already where y'all needed to be for that one.
Damn. I mean, because this one is a home hitter. You understand what I'm saying? This one hits right at home, and I'm talking about when we expand it. And not only look at the personal relationships, but look at the business relationships, and look at the organizational relationships, and look at what we dedicating our time to. and what we allowing other people to come and be part of, we have to be very mindful of it. You know, that's called husbandry, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, the word husbandry. You have to be careful what you allow into your flocks. You got to be careful what you allow into your, because you're responsible for it. So,
and you know what's a real big sentiment right now for those who dwell towards progress, especially in Cleveland and places that are going through gentrification. Understand that there's a lot of newfounded devoted people to the cause around these times because it's a lot more money out there to go get. And the thing is that the people that's hoarding the money, well, they're people who already got their act together and got their Ocean's 11 team together and know how to get it from the application to the adjudication process to closing and getting awarded the money, right? And so, across the board, when I stepped into this realm, to this social service industry,
because it is an industry. It is an industry.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, because the thing is that I got into this industry when I was 21 years old, and it was told to me then that I should get a degree in it because then the same job that I was doing for $17,000 a year, I could get $25,000 a year. But within that same statement, it's like, yeah, and unless you go into management, you pretty much cap out at 25 to 30 a year based on your degree. Unless you are in management. And when you step into the management, you become a more intricate part of the machine, and you have to, you got to take more oaths to be able to, and this is just, man, I don't know how else to say it. You know what I mean? But the more detriment you cause through that machine, the more you're able to justify the billable services, which is causing more. You know what I mean?
You perpetuate the madness, and they follow these steps when they're building those organizations. I mean, because if you listen to the steps, like I was telling before you got on, that a man purchased an ass and agreed with his owner that he should try out the animal before he bought him. They're talking about a probation period where you take time to study a person. To get in management, in most cases, in some form of fashion, you have to go through some probation period. Even to get in some of these jobs, you have to go through an initiation, that probation period, where you learn about the society, where you learn about the organization, where you learn about the family that you're getting in. But a lot of times, we be so desperate to accept people, right? Especially in what we doing here, because it's like, I'm all by myself a majority of the time. I don't have people to talk to a majority. I'm not trying to talk about the game. I don't give a fuck about the Cavaliers. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? So for me to run into somebody that might not care either, or at least act like they don't care, means, dang, I'm not out here by myself. So I let my guard down. And a lot of times as organizations and as individuals, we let our guard down too soon because we have not established the character of, or we have not seen the true character of the individual. And that's what a trial period allow you to experience, right? Because that's the wisdom. That's a major piece of wisdom in here. Many of us are opening up our doors and welcoming people into our homes much too soon. Too soon. And then also, I'm going to say this. Just because a motherfucker is born into the family don't necessarily mean that they family. And I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there because this is why everybody in villages, this is why everybody in tradition had to be born through the society. Woman's womb is where the child comes through. Man's womb is where the man comes through. You look at rites of passage. What is rites of passage? Rites of passage is a birthing process. From the germination all the way to the delivery of the man is the birthing process, and society is the womb of man. We just model it on woman, but we miss this. We don't see the symbolism of you graduating, you entering a school, or you entering a group. There's a gestation process, and there's a birthing process. And when you're birthed, you're fully in. That's after you go through that initiation, right? That time period.
Yeah.
So
what I always say for those who try to buck the process, and the ones that I try to help realign with, because sometimes we make things up in our head, right? We want to skip through all the what do we call the trench work, and just get right on to
the management
on paper.
I want to be giving orders and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But the PC is that I always say to people, what you fail to learn from me at my expense, adversity will teach you at your own. Because there's a process nonetheless. There's a process to everything. And when we try to buck the system, and skip to the end, using cheat codes and stuff like that, man, I lost my overall, my big point. But hopefully we can pick up in a second. My mind's buffering.
You old, man. All right, let's move on to you old, man. I go through it all the time, too. So, now, this man, he
I was reading a Geritol bottle the other day, and and a young woman came down the aisle in Walmart, and I had to put them up and start reading the Flintstone vitamins instead. I just, that's when I know, like, I catch myself having old person moments, like, what is in this that,
Just Geritol. Jared.
But I'm so glad, I'm proud of you, Hot Tim, because you hung in there so much longer than I have. And, I think, so how does the Buckeye card work anyway? Like, is it only work in Ohio, or like everywhere you go, do they recognize
everywhere you go, man? Not only that, man, I'm part of that other one too. They keep sending me cards at the old people thing, man. I'm taking advantage of all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm AARP. I get all types of discounts, brother. Hey. But on back to the story with your old ass. All right. This next line you're gonna need to put on your glasses. It says, "Seeing this," you got to put on your glasses. "Seeing this, the man put on a halter on him." So after he put the animal through a trial period, he put the animal in a common area. Now I want you to remember this, family. You need to have a common area, because in a common area, it allows for a bunch of different things to happen. And in these different things happening, you get to see different qualities of this person. This being that you're about to bring into your circle. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop, in a sense, rushing the process, right? We have to, and I do agree, there are some processes that are just put there, right, to slow your ass down. But there are some processes that need to be respected by the people that's giving the process, because people are going to constantly be pulling on you and nagging at you about the process, but hold to your process. Right? Because I'm going to bitch, I'm going to moan, I'm going to do all, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to show you who I really am. Miss Vanessa says, so the purchase did not purchase the ass. The purchaser did not. He took the ass to the common area. He left the ass in the common area, and the ass went and chilled with, he left the larger group, and he went and chilled with the laziest and the most food consuming ass in the place. So when the man saw what the ass did, when the man saw the ass's character, he didn't hesitate. He put the halter back on him and marched him right back to where he got him from and said, nah, I don't want this one. Because he knew that because of who that ass chose to hang with. And we got to understand, family, I mean, it's like, even when we looking at our kids, we got to be honest. If my son or my daughter's hanging with this type of motherfucker, what type of individual is my child? Then we got to look at our friends. This is why I keep on telling you every day. We got to be looking at our principles. Today, the principle is Coogee Chagalia. And I'm asking you, what does self-determination mean to you? Where do you see it in your life? Where do you see it in your friends? Where do you see it in your family? Because you have to start learning how to look for these principles. Because we have been so long with people being thrown on us. You have to accept them because you are in somebody else's world. You are in somebody else's reality, and they have been able to throw them on us and just drop spies and shit into our community, right? And we just accept them. Sister Vanessa say, so based on the behavior was not acceptable. The behavior was not acceptable. I mean, I want you to think about this. You are in the farming business. You need an ass.
Okay, what can I do for you?
What the hell was that? Oh. Google spying on us, y'all. So I want you to imagine that you are in.
All right, your alarm's set for tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Damn. Thank you for telling my business, Google. All right. So imagine you are in a farming business, and your plow is this ass. You got these asses. You got a lot of land, and you got to get the work done, right? And you go get a new mule, a new ass, and you put it in the yard. And this ass gonna hang with the laziest ass in the yard. What are you gonna do? Better yet, let's take it to man. You need a man to help you with your business. You got some men that work hard, and then you got a few that just be chilling all the time that you always got to remind to get to work, right? And you bring a new hire in. He goes to the common area. He looks around. He talks with the people that work hard that you don't have to really advise that much. But then you start seeing him fade over to the lazy motherfuckers. What are you going to do? This dude is on probation. He's hanging with the problem ones. He's hanging with the ones that you got to remind to close the doors, to pick up after themselves. What are you going to do? Usher his ass out the door. Because maybe the other ones made it through the probation period. You know, hell, you might need to get rid of those ones too. Because they're eating up the resources. Because we got to remember, family, that 15% of the people do 85% of the work. That's in most organizations. But what's crazy is...
That's the thing, though, man. Like, now, answer this for me, though. Because, the strategy... The strategy behind the Willie Lynch letter was based off of the breaking of a horse.
Now, right?
So, you have some people who need to be able to talk down to the ass, who need to be commanding of the ass because it makes them look superior in the world that they belong in. You know what I mean? In their world, they are. So those type of people will never have respectable workers because they need to be seen as oh, come on, pick your ass up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get to work over there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You over there, pull your pants up. Think this is. You know what I mean? And that's just some people's way. And when you stand back and you check that out, I mean, in the back of your mind, you got to think, who's the ass for real?
And see, now, you're getting to the point. See, because even on that end, because like I said, that manager or that individual you are describing is the ass. And he's getting the results he's getting because he got lazy ass behaviors. You understand what I'm saying? See, one of the things that I'm noticing about my kids and about my children and other children, and Elder Shedrick told me this years ago. He said, man, the issue with our children is that our children are more consistent in their behaviors than we are in our corrections. Right? So when I'm sitting, like today when you was calling me, I was looking at the phone, I was like, what the fuck this is the wrong, sit down! It's the wrong time for him to be, oh, don't make me get up, I mean, this is what when you called, this is literally where I was, and I was like, man, I got to start telling people, stop calling me in the middle of the day, during springtime, right after full moon, because these kids, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? But the piece is, a lot of our kids have shown more consistency than their parents in the behaviors that they are using. So you tell a child no, and the child look at you and be like, they don't understand what you're saying, because the no that they've been getting at home has not been consistent. The no does not, you know what I'm saying? One of the things I use with everybody around me. I'm trying to get people to understand the term no. What you mean, brother Hatem? What you mean understanding? My no is sufficient. What you mean? I say, if you ask me a question and I told you yes, would you ask me why? No. Then why when I tell you no, you feel that I owe you a why? My no is sufficient. Please understand that. Your no is sufficient. And one of the problems with some of us is that through our lack of consistency in what we say and what we do, then of course when we start managing people, that lack of consistency is going to come through. So now then that person who is managing those people, his production rate is going to be equal to that ass that was sitting up there in the middle of the thing and went over there and chilled with the other lazy ass. Damn, maybe that's where lazy ass came from.
Possibly.
I think this folktale, because I heard this before. I think this is where the term lazy ass might come from. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you're able to judge an individual by the company that they keep. We don't do that. Right? We think, oh, they different. And we need to start lining up with the rules of the universe. We need to start lining up with the wisdom of our ancestors, which tells us birds of a feather flock together. He might be nice right now, but eventually that dirty shit is going to come up out of him. And hey, and Shaka, you've been in the Gye-Nyame house. We learned this shit the hard way. You know what I'm saying? When motherfuckers come shooting up the motherfucking house because motherfuckers lying and shit. Getting people shot and shit. Just some dirt. I mean, it's like, yo, you got to really, really, really be careful about who you start letting in. If they don't respect the process, if they start hanging with the trouble motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Nah, dog. You just, in your crew, you might need to keep just a couple of lazy motherfuckers around so that when you bring new people in, you can see where they go. Oh, you over there, dog. You done passed. You done failed it. You done passed the initiation of not passing the initiation. Thank you. Your services are no longer needed. Brother Anubis say precisely how.
Thank you for all the knives, though.
You said what?
I said, but thanks for all the knives, though.
Right.
These young brothers, man, they would get in my car. I'd go clean out my car. I had like switchblade, 12-inch knives, like knives I'd never seen before.
Then probably my goddamn knives. That's probably my shit. They was stealing my shit. Precise.
Actually, I think we did return some of your knives back to you.
So we got Anubis saying precisely, Howard, most people will almost always take your no for your wanting to become an enemy instead of there might be some other reason that you do not have to go into explain old territory. You know what I'm saying? And it's like and people that can't accept your no, The question you have to ask is, do they really respect you? You know what I'm saying? You might need to go to war with them. If a motherfucker if they can't accept your no, right? You don't need to be fucking with them. Right? I mean, that's like that the lazy. I mean, the lazy ass. So, you know, he don't want to hear no. He want to be able to sit over there and chill and do what he wants to do. Right? And when it's time to work, he's going to do as little work as possible and come back and consume as much resources as possible. And when you say no, he can't eat no more, he might act sick, or he might start kicking other mules to make them not want to work and stuff like that. So when you find individuals that can't accept your no, you have to ask yourself this question: do they really respect you? Because respect is them seeing you and taking time to see you again, and knowing that if you said no, you don't really need to give them an explanation. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to give them an explanation. Like for example, you get paid. All of us got people in our family we know like this. They know exactly when you get paid. They call you, ask you for some money. You be like, no. And then they gonna ask you why. Like they worked your goddamn job. And we had audacity, and I'm saying this, family, you got the audacity to feel guilty about that shit. That's your money. You earned it. Your no is sufficient. Nigga, my no is sufficient. I ain't got to explain nada to you. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to start, because not being able to stand firm on your no, not being able to have people around you respect your no, let you know that you got a bunch of lazy asses around you. They don't even want to take the time to think that there might be something possibly beyond them that you might need your money for, that you might need your time for, that you might need other things, that you whatever you told them no about, you might have some other use for. They can't even put themselves in you. They're centered around themselves, like these two asses. When these two asses got there, they communed with everybody else, but then they got over to themselves and start eating up all the food. It was all about them.
Wow. We had this conversation before, Hot Tim, and I think the word is shiftless.
That's lazy ass.
When you got shiftless individuals that flock together, at the end of the day, they setting each other up to be each other's scapegoat. Because ain't neither one of them willing to take the fall for what neither one of them are willing to do to get themselves out of the process of falling. But it's inevitable because of their behavior. It's only you ever seen two people together where you just like, it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. We see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, because only, and this is the sad part. Do you know that there's a good chance that only 15% of us is gonna make it out of this? And if
make it out of what? Make it out of what?
Make it out of the situation we are in as a people. I mean, it's a good chance that only 15, and if it's more than 15%, that 15% is going to be carrying the others. We have to understand,
man. That's unfair, man.
That's the way it is,
That's unfair.
I mean,
listen. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I am Rick from The Walking Dead. All right. I'm Rick. Damn it. Listen, we only got enough food for our tribe, and we can't afford no dead weight. We can't afford no weak links. We got our stuff down pat. We're surviving. We're living today because of our trust and our relationship with each other. Right?
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't know if you follow the show.
I don't follow the damn show.
Okay.
Y'all keep on trying to get me to follow the show. Come on, Rick. Get to the point. Uh-oh. Time out.
The zombie apocalypse, our survival hood is based on our our network and what everybody brings to the table. With no shift. I mean, if you shifty and can't nobody, put a finger on what you bring to the table, you pretty much dead by the next episode. I guarantee it. You dead by the next episode.
Then you agree.
Because
you agree with what I said.
Huh?
You agree with what I said.
Right.
Hold on. Somebody asked a question. Hold on. But Anubis said, I observed two actual brothers get into a fist fight over some cheap, disgusting beer last Friday. The younger one refused to purchase another one, so the older brother decided to toss his remaining beer all over the younger's head. And then he says, Rick is a horrible leader. Ms. Vanessa said, what is the situation that you speak of? The situation that black folks in America are in. Descendants of captives or descendants of us. You know what I'm saying? There's a good chance that only 15% of them is going to make it out of here. Make it out the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at the shit that's coming through. I mean, people been predicting it for a while, but it's usually only 15% that's doing the work any damn way. So it's going to be,
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is what's unfair about that is the fact that, like, you get people that make it out of the hood and they make it in the suburbs and they're like, woo, we ain't got to deal with that shit no more. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they out of the hood. They don't have to deal with, I mean, man, things that you see in the hood that you don't necessarily see in the suburbs is like these Habibi gas stations with fried chicken. It'd be like 8 o'clock at night and the chicken still be under the warmer that was there at noon. And, that's just one of the things you deal with in the hood. When in Rome. What was my point? But the point is that once you make it,
go ahead.
once you make it out of the hood, like, you only obligated to your tribe. Like, we made it out. You got a job. I got a job. We doing what we need to do to maintain our space in this new territory when we ain't got to deal with the ratchetness. Right? So you telling me that if I'm among the 15% that make it out of the hood, somehow I'm supposed to carry the other 85% of the hood at night?
That's what we've been doing. That's exactly what we've been doing. I mean, you got to understand, man. Even let's take it off. Let's take it off the people. Just look at the organizations you've been working with. 15% of the people carrying 85% of the work. Which means that you got a small percentage of people doing all the work for most of these large organizations. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to understand that that's what happens. And then on top of that, because like I said, you gave a perfect example of the hood, which means that it's not even your territory. The hood is not our territory. Shit, the hood is conquered territory. Because when you can mention the Habib with a gas station with chicken that we know is old and no good in the motherfucking hood, is that ours? No, it's not. We're living just like that boy in that video, This America, in the fucking illusion. We think it's ours, but Habib's selling the gas on the corner that we all need. And I'm hungry right now. I ain't got nothing else to eat. I got 55 cents. I go to Habib's and I give him that little 55 cents to get that old piece of chicken that he paid a dime for. Come on, man.
Right.
That ain't our shit. I'm still not clear on the situation. Descendants of enslaved Africans is a fact. How does that make it a situation? Facts can't be situations? I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? The situation we are in, the economic situation, the political situation, right? The military situation that we are in, the poverty situation, all those pieces that make up descendants of enslaved Africans, right? All those things, all those factors that are around us is the situation, right? And we have to change some things around in order for our grandkids and our great-grandkids to really have something. Claude Anderson said something that I never forgotten that haunts me every day when I'm looking at it. He said if we don't do nothing within the next 20 years, and he said this 20 years ago, we will be a permanent underclass. Right now, we will be giving birth. Well, actually, some of us, we are the first generation that will be doing worse than our parents. So I want you to imagine what that means for a majority of our children. Right? You might be doing good right now, but what are the prospects for your child? Each generation need to be moving up. Just like in other groups, each generation need to be taking it up to the next step. And we got to ask the question, is that happening for us? When you look at the numbers and you look at the statistics, I don't look that damn good. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But family, it's been an hour. I really enjoyed sitting here chatting it up with y'all. I love talking with my brother Shaka. Remember, May 19th, we will be at the Malcolm X Festival at Millennium Community School, 3500 Refugee Road. Make sure you come on out. Enjoy yourself. Come ready, because we're going to have vendors. Come ready to eat, because we're going to have food vendors. I got food vendors getting at us right now. Come listen to some entertainment. We got a live band. Shaka is even talking about coming down. I'm trying to get that money together. So
I ain't talking about. I'm coming down, man. Listen. I told Pharaoh that was a big day, and Pharaoh said, "Dad, you could sell your Red Jones, and I could sell lemonade."
Uh oh.
So we about to see what this stand gonna look like. It's gonna be like lemonade and you
got a table? You got a table? I got you a table. I'm gonna get you a table. Okay, those are conditions that can be changed. So if you say some of us will get out of this situation, that won't change the facts.
Let's widen the scope a little bit, Hot Tim.
Go ahead.
I hear where that person is going, but let's widen the scope, because if you look at the last line in Psalms 82,
mm-hmm.
regarding the inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Go ahead.
Now we look at the behavior.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the protocol that it takes to be on that winning side.
Mm-hmm.
We're not discussing that at all in any of the situations. And here's the major situation. Here's why only 15%. Is because only 15% of us regard something that's truly sacred in our process. Think about it.
Okay. She asked a good question. She said, okay, those are conditions that can be changed. So if you say some of us will get out of this situation, that won't change the facts. That'll change the situation for those that get out. You know what I'm saying? For those that are working, and I ain't talking about necessarily even getting out. I'm talking, let's say, change the condition. It'll be that 15% that will change the condition, and they will do the major benefits, because some people may not ever even realize that they are in an ill condition. Sort of like with Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? I would have freed more if they not only knew they were slaves. Some people won't even recognize when you making your ascension, because you're thinking differently, because you're working differently, because you building your tribe of like-minded or like-skilled individuals. You know what I'm saying? That are able to move up and do some major things. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, everybody ain't gonna be able to come, because everybody ain't going to catch it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're right. The conditions that can be changed. So, okay, those conditions can be changed. So, if you say some of us will get out of this situation, that won't change the facts. Situations change. Facts don't. We can improve our economic situation. We will still be descendants. Oh, and I love that. I don't mind that. I'm not trying to change that. I want to hold on to that. I'm loving that. You know why? Because that makes me unique. I have a unique claim on something, and I'm going to get my money. I'm going to get my resources. You know what I'm saying? That right there, what you put right there, we're not trying to escape that. That's what a lot of the 85% is trying to escape. You know what I'm saying? That descendants of enslaved Africans, because they feel that that's a shame, that's a mark upon them. I'm saying, family, listen to me. We have a unique bloodline that we will be able to maintain, and we will have stories that we will be able to tell our children about our ancestors' struggles that will make them the wisest of leaders and the best of business people when we start grooming our young people to listen to them, because all of that will be compiled. We got all this wisdom from all this struggle that we are able to transfer to the generations, but we allowing other people to educate our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not enforcing, or we're not even demanding that they tell the real story. Tell the whole story. Shock our children to being like, damn, that really happened? It didn't go down like that. What? Okay, I'm gonna be wary of strangers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, one thing I feel like saying right now, man, is that in terms of the way we parent, man, we got to stop lying to our kids, yo. And I ain't just talking about Santa Claus. I'm talking about because the thing is that even when we talking biblically, like my son right now, 7 years old, he's asking a whole bunch of questions about God. A whole bunch of questions, and he's putting it all into perspective. No, he asked me the other day, he said, whatever happened to Adam's dog?
What?
Yeah, because he went on YouTube and watched several different renditions of the Adam and Eve story. He wanted to see the part about the rib because he didn't believe that part. Right? And in one of the versions, Adam and Eve had a dog out in the Garden of Eden. Pharaoh was like, whatever happened to Adam's dog?
That's a good question, Pharaoh. That is a good question. If anybody out there happens to know what happened to Adam's dog, hit him up at themindofshaka@gmail.com and let young Pharaoh know what happened to Adam's dog. Because I want to know now, goddammit. That is the question of the week. What happened to Adam's dog? All right, family. Oh, damn. Okay, Anubis. I guess after they got put out the guard, it got hard, right? They ate it. You know what I'm saying? And I hear you, man. And that's like I said, you know, because we gotta get a. Oh damn, Kwame said it too. They ate him. Damn.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So. Please tell me Pharaoh out the room, cause but family. I mean, and we got to stop lying to ourselves about some of these things too, because it ain't necessarily us lying to our children. It's us not really being honest and saying, I don't understand this shit. Just be honest. So we make up shit. You know what I'm saying? Now as an adult, you don't always have to have the answer. As a matter of fact, you teach your child something. When my daughter asks me something, I'll be like, I do the best I can and be like, baby, I really don't know. But that's an excellent question. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and then you call on Google and be like, yo, get that, hey, Google, hey. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, we got these research tools where we can start asking questions. And I make sure my children understand that one man's story is another man's religion. You know what I'm saying? So we respect all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in the foolishness. Right? You know what I'm saying?
And back to the sister talking about the facts in the situation, the reality is that for every plus for us, for every advancement for us, somebody's sliding down a little bit for, you know what I mean? And, you know, so to an extent, you know, whether we're talking about the lazy asses sliding to the bottom and the ones doing, you know, the work, the cream of the crop coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's so it, you know, so it's supposed to be that way. The piece is that you know, there's always two sides of the coin. You know what I mean? So the more, I mean, if we wasn't, oh man, we need a refresh. I need to come back on Thursday with something for you, man, because this is a whole different conversation now.
All right.
You've been trying to close it out for the past 20 minutes, man.
Man, but that's cool.
I ain't gonna stop you this time. I promise you, I ain't gonna stop you this time.
We got I will be seeing y'all those daily toasters. Remember, we got those daily toasters. For those daily toasters, family.
You said we got new daily toasters?
Oh man, we got new daily toasters. We at the ancestor list is growing. I mean, I'm not excited about the ancestor. You understand what I'm saying? The ancestor list is growing. That means more people is coming on board. But we got the daily toaster shirts. I will see y'all in the morning for the daily toast. But also, we will be coming back on Gye-Nyame. For those that know what that is, learning language. At 9 p.m., we will be doing tribal quotes. And, of course, on Gye-Nyame morning, I will be letting y'all know what the quotes will be or the proverbs will be for that day. I want to send shouts out to Brother Kwame, shouts out to Brother Anubis, shouts out to Miss Vanessa, shouts out to Miss CeeLo, shouts out to Miss Stephanie Jackson, shouts out to, I think it's Andra Mende. I think that might be it. Shouts out to whoever is watching on YouTube. I think it's a Charles Stevenson. I want to thank y'all for joining us. Shouts out to each and every last one of you. Shouts out to all of y'all that's been supporting us with the Malcolm X Festival and making those donations. I truly and genuinely appreciate it. And the money will be used exactly for what we say it's going to be used for. I want to thank each and every last one of y'all. And with that, I wish you peace, power, and joy in 100 years. And I will say, I am out. Peace.
Peace.